Yes, guys. Welcome back to another panel show, man. Pick up side, man. What is this guy all the time, man?
What's he doing?
What's going on here, bro?
I'm in mourning, brother. I'm in mourning.
He's in mourning, man. Yeah, you can tell us about it in a second. Guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well. Gonna get the lads' take on last night going forward. The Chelsea game as well. We got them. You know, we got to pick ourselves up quick. Because this is going to be a big one. So make sure you are smashing the like, make sure you are subscribed, make sure you're getting your comments in the live chat as well. And by the way, I am going to be doing a live watch along at 8 p.m. of the Benfica game. City heavily linked with João Neves, 100 million quid signing, very, very young. And I've never seen him play before. So if you want to watch some football, some of you might not want to do that. But if you do want to watch some football, come and join me on More LB Alive in an hour to watch João Neves. Go on then, Si, kick us off, mate.
No, it's just from last night. It took its toll, doesn't it? And I had to go to work. And at my work, there's like 15 Real Madrid fans waiting on me when I got in. And I went late, knowing they would be there for me. Stood there with flags and scarves and shirts and welcome me, singing "Hala Hala Madrid." So today has been a long day for me. Especially because I've been giving them everything the past week. And now it just bit me so hard in the ass. So, yeah, I'm in mourning, man. I'm hurt.
You're down bad, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know any Real Madrid fans in Manchester, so I don't really get the same sort of situation as you. But
yeah.
What did you make of the game, though, Si? Like, you know what I mean? Because for me, I thought we played really well, bro. I can't lie. Like, I can't be on any streams. I didn't do it on my video, my match reaction today. I've not once said like we played bad. I didn't think we played bad personally. I thought we played really well. I just think it came down to one thing: our finishing. You know, and that's been a problem for us all year. You know what I mean? Our clinicalness has been not great all season. Other than that, bro, I genuinely think that we played well.
No, we did play well, and we dominated. Like stats will tell you, eye test will tell you. All the Madrid fans at work also recognize that they should be beat, that they were the inferior team, and I think everyone who saw that game knows that. But it's just Real Madrid. I said to my mates last night watching it, if this goes to penalty, we'll lose. And then we scored. Madrid missed the penalty, and my hopes just went up so much. So I started writing all these stupid guys, and then 1 minute later, my dreams was crushed. But yeah, we were good, like really, really good. Dominated what should be the second best team in Europe, and
bro's heartbroken, man.
That hurt so bad. So no, we were good, and I feel optimistic for the rest of the season. Still so much to play for, but I've said all season that I thought if we were to win something from Premier League or to the Champions League, we would probably win the Champions League again. And yeah, it hurt me.
Bailey, I mean, you like to do like the tactical analysis as well and stuff like that on your threads on Twitter. Sky Blue Times, guys, if you're not following him. What did you make of the game? I mean, we dominated the game, we created chances. I mean, Charlie asked this question. It's been poor all season in terms of our finishing. What needs to be fixed to sort this problem? It's nearly every game. Is it nearly every game? Do you agree with Charlie? I mean, can we continue like this? Are we just having a bit of an off season? Like, what's going on here, man?
I think I'd echo a lot of what you said earlier, which is we've known these problems all the way through the season. We've known our struggles in front of goal. We know the deficiencies of the team. And a lot of that probably stems back to that transfer window where we knew there were a lot of signings coming in that would need to be bedded in, that wouldn't quite fit yet. And there were players that were possibly going to leave, should have left, and then stayed. And then when it comes to this transfer window, I think that's where you're probably going to see where the solutions would come in. But for the rest of the season, I think, like Simon said, there's a lot of encouraging signs there, a lot of positive performances. We know exactly what we've got within this team, and they're still more than capable of doing a double this season, despite what you said, which was very poor in front of net last night.
Yeah, Tom, you have your say, and then we'll open it up to the panel and just chat about it. But what was your thoughts on last night, man?
Yeah, I thought we played really well. I watched you on with Mo earlier. That was good, and I I thought we played really well. I agreed with a lot of what you said on that show. I don't know if others heard it or not. But yeah, I thought we played really well. We dominated 80-90% of the whole tie, both games. Easy. Missed chances. I mean, we are still scoring goals. It's not a complete disaster. I think we've scored the most in the Premier League and Champions League too, as of last night. Obviously, we don't know going forward. So we are still scoring. And I think we get this almost every year. Even when we've won 2-3 trophies, we say, Christ, just to think that if we'd have taken the chances as well, I mean, we would be burying teams. And it's again this year. So although we are missing chances, we are still scoring. We are creating. But Real Madrid, I thought, were pissed poor, to be honest. I thought somebody mentioned that they reminded them of Atletico Madrid. That was actually quite right. I can't remember who said that now, but it's absolutely spot on review that, I think. But in terms of City, I thought we played well. I was proud of the lads. I've come out disappointed we'd lost, but I was proud of the team. And we are better than Real Madrid, but we just didn't win on the night. And football is that way. If the better team on every game, the better team on paper and who plays better, we'd all be rich men, wouldn't we?
Yeah, right, cool. We've got the lads' sort of general views on the game. What I want to do now, in fact, let me get the super chat. LB says Goldbridge done another City in crisis video. Okay, now it's cash money, man. It's cash money. It is what it is, bro. Yeah. Big up LB for the super chats as always, bro. I want to speak about Erling Haaland, lads, right? And I want the chat to give me your comments as well on this, right? Now, listen, let's just set up a few ground rules, yeah? Let's just set up a few ground rules before we have this debate, yeah? We're not children, man, yeah? You can have a debate. You can have different opinions. If you're in the chat, you give us your comments. Don't abuse no one, whether they're on the panel or whether in the chat. If you want to have your opinion, whether it be negative on him, have your opinion. Just make it constructive. You want to have your opinion on it, be positive, have your opinion, yeah? Don't be a dick, yeah? That's the situation. We're all adults. Just having a conversation. Right. I'm going to start, yeah? And then I want you guys just to chime in on this. Erling Haaland for me last night, poor. Yeah, ball was bouncing off him. I thought his hold-up play was bad. He had a couple of chances with his head that, headers that he could have done better on. I wouldn't say any of them were like golden opportunities, but he had a few half-decent chances. Like I say, his build-up play was poor. The best thing he probably did was when he sort of bullied his way through the halfway line and put Jack Grealish in, who probably could have done more. I think he's well low on confidence. I think his confidence is on the floor. He needs a couple of goals to sort of like get his confidence back. But I also don't think we're playing to his strengths in the slightest, yeah, which I think compounds that situation. So that's my opinion. Going forward, what do we need to do? Does he need to be dropped? Sometimes you drop a player when they're out of form, and sometimes you play the player through it. I'm at that stage where I'm kind of like, I'll probably play him against Chelsea. Yeah. If he does bad against Chelsea, then I'm honestly going to have a serious conversation about whether I drop him against sort of like a Brighton and pull in Alvarez or play a false nine situation. But I don't think he's playing very good at the moment. There's a multiple reasons for that. Like I say, confidence. We're not playing to his strengths, but I do think he needs to do better. His hold-up play last night was poor. But let me open this up to the floor. Who wants to go first, lads? So someone get in there and give us your thoughts on Haaland, because it's all anyone wants to speak about. Go on, Tone.
Yeah, I'll go in. I will. I thought he played okay. I thought he set up Grealish with a really good ball, really, really good bit of play. I did write a couple of bits down, but I completely agree with what you're saying about us not playing to his strengths, or you mentioned it just then. We're not using his, his thing is, running onto things, that power and pace. He stood there next to Rudiger or top draw centre-backs. Whoever we play, there are two centre-backs on him. No matter who it is, and these are Premier League or Champions League level quality centre-backs, two players on one guy. And the way we're playing and the way the opposition play, where they're all packed in their own box, makes it very difficult for him. How much room can he have to run into and all that sort of stuff? Bailey had a really good thread on this, by the way, on your Sky Blue Times thing. That was really good. But I think just find it frustrating and I find it frustrating for Haaland as well. And I think he's likely getting very frustrated because he's not getting the service. But on the other hand, I don't know how to give him the service that he needs to thrive because of the way the opposition are playing. Do you see what I mean? It's very, very difficult. But I thought, in terms of an overall, I thought he was okay last night. But he did come off with a knock, so I'm not so sure he'll be playing against Chelsea anyway, to be honest.
But I agree with Tone on this. So I understand what people are saying about Haaland. I actually thought last night wasn't his worst game this season. I think he's had a few worse games, but look at how they played. They played 11 players in their own penalty area. Like, there's no room for him to play in. And so many opposition teams play like that. And that's, show me a striker who's that big, who can like get the space needed to get a shot off. So yeah, we're definitely not playing to his strength, but it's also very difficult due to the way the opposition team is playing. I would definitely, if he's not injured, I will play him against Chelsea, because they will like get onwards on the pitch, get up on the pitch, which would in theory leave spaces for him to run into. So yeah, I think it's a difficult season for him, but he still has like 37 GNA, which is insane numbers, isn't it? We're just holding him to such a high standard, and rightly so. Like, we're talking about him as one of the world's, maybe in history's best strikers, potentially, and a Ballon d'Or contender, right? So he should be held to high standards. But all thing in context, like, look at how people are playing against us, and then maybe we should start. I don't understand. We haven't played Doku on the right yet with Haaland up top, which where we saw against Aston Villa, we got so many crosses in the right area of him, and then we take Haaland out of their team, and then we put Haaland in the team, and then we move Doku away, which is weird. So yeah, I think there's definitely room for improvement.
That's a good point, man. That's a good point, because it's funny, yeah, because when we signed Haaland, yeah, and we'd sold Sterling, and I said at the time, I said, I felt last season we needed, although we were the treble, I said this like as more stylistically, I felt like if we had a fast player on that right hand side, just to whip crosses into Haaland, you know what I mean? Rather than, like, for example, when Bernardo gets the ball on the right hand side, I'm not slagging him off, I'm just talking about the way that we play. You know, he gets the ball on the right, and then he cuts back in on his left, and then he either passes it or he'll like float one in. Whereas I feel like, you know, if we played Doku on the right hand side, and I'm just saying play as a test, he could take a player, he could just whip across him first of all, and who will be there? Hopefully Erling Haaland to knock it in. That's actually a great point that no one really talks about. And like I said it about Sterling, but Sterling's not here. Doku is that guy now, and we've not really seen it too much.
But also this season, whenever there's a cross, I don't know if it's a lack of connection between the players and Haaland, but every time, just check last night, every time there was a cross when they got to the byline, and then they did a cross either to the back post or to the front post, Haaland was on the opposite of where the cross came. And I don't know if that's like a tactical point or like,
I
but
don't think
it's weird to look at that, because when it did to back post, he moved to the right, to the front post, and vice versa. So definitely something to work on with that.
I don't think that's a tactical thing, bro. I think that's just like.
But last season, he was there at the right spot every single time, which is weird, isn't it?
It is. I don't think it's a tactical thing, because, you know, I just think our crosses just not going to the person that we need it to go to. Yeah, I just think I don't know. I just think it's just not quite working out right now. You know, and I feel as well, another thing that I would say is when we're getting the balls into decent areas, we're not getting players into the box. Like, we'd have Gundogan running into the box last year, and I don't want to keep bringing it back to Gundogan Mahrez. I'm just saying, like, last year when we get the ball in the box and like pull it back or something, we'd have Gundogan in there, and like Gundogan would be making that run. And you know, Foden likes to stay on the edge of the box a little bit more. He does get into the box, but not as much as Gundogan. And Kev kind of the same. You know what I mean? He kind of likes to be on the edge. So I don't just think it's a Haaland specific thing, but when it comes to Haaland, that is a good point about Doku. I do think a good way to help Haaland out would be to play Doku on the right and just tell him to spam crosses in.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't drop Haaland, just to say. I definitely would not drop Haaland at all. If he's fit, I said this last week, I think if he's fit, he plays. Simple as that. I mean, he nearly scored yesterday, the header that unluckily come off the bar, didn't he?
Just a good header, that.
Yeah, it was. Lovely header. But he's a top draw player, but he is, I think, from what I've heard, and I think one or two of you guys probably heard as well, or all of you, that he is still having problems with his foot. And he's had the problem most of the season, and it is still irritating him. But that could be playing a part with it.
But that won't clear up, though, will it? Until he gets a significant amount of break. Like, even if he's out injured like he was, he needs a proper rest period with something like that. I think it was bone, wasn't it? So
yeah,
he really
that's right.
needs to do absolutely nothing, just recovery.
Summer, no Euros for him, which is perfect. Get him rested 2 months. Come back firing again. Not that he's bad. It's just he's just not quite on it.
It's funny, isn't it? Because go on, Bailey. Sorry, mate.
Just on you guys mentioned about people to find him. So if you look at Premier League most crosses for City this season, it's Julian Alvarez, Kevin De Bruyne, and Bernardo Silva. Which, as we saw last night with Bernardo Silva, he's not going to be the most consistent and best crosser of the ball. Neither is Alvarez going to be somebody you'd pick out to be delivering the right balls for him. And then if you do that for through balls, then our top two are Rodri and Foden. So again, they're not two that are known for through balls compared to, say, De Bruyne, like we saw against Luton, that would just turn and fire the ball in right away. So I think definitely next season I'd keep an eye on that. And I know Savio's been talked about possibly going out on loan, but he is somebody who is very good at crossing to the back post and floating those balls in. And I think next season, watch that pre-season and see the way that goes. Like you said, with Doku playing on a wing, I think we're probably in for a bit of a shift in the transfer window on both the personnel and the players coming in.
Where do you think Savio would play in this team? On the left or the right?
Right for me, right wing.
Right.
But
because he has the ability to come inside. Pardon?
Yeah, I was going to say though, isn't that like another player that's just going to cut in and do the same? Are you saying like his quality, even though he's on the right and he's checking in on his left foot, has he got like a better quality of delivery then? Is that what you're saying?
Isn't he right-footed?
He can cross on his right and cut in.
Oh, is he right-footed?
On the right.
I thought it was right-footed, yeah. But I'm not 100% sure.
He's played a lot on the left at Girona, but he is very good on the right as well. But we definitely need a right winger that's playing that spot.
Yeah, left-footed. Yeah, well, I don't know if the news come out that he is going to be on the preseason tour, which I don't think could come as much as a surprise. But I don't know. Do you guys think? In fact, let me come to some of these super chats, and then I want to come to you guys and ask you if you think that we're in for a bit of a change in style next year with some of our transfer targets. Of course, we've been linked with Musiala heavily today as well. So let me come to some of these super chats. Guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream if you've not done so already. Please make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well. And just a reminder for people that joined late, I am going to be watching Benfica versus Marseille at 8 p.m. City are heavily linked with João Neves, £100 million transfer. Is he going to be the Gundogan replacement? The guy who can help out Rodri? Apparently, T-Kit really, really likes him. So I'm going to do a watch-along at 8 p.m. after this stream. So make sure you join me for that one. Okay, let's have a look at some of these super chats. Big up for the support, as always. Big up to Billy. He says, crazy week. Even Villa is getting dominated by Lille right now. If Aston Villa loses today, all the Premier League clubs might be out of Europe by the end of the evening. That is actually true. Yeah, they're still losing 2-0. Yeah, they are 2-0 with 8 minutes to go. Aston Villa desperately need a goal in the last 8 minutes. It's not been a good week. It's not going to be good. Yeah, it's not going to be a good couple of weeks for the English clubs. We're about to all be eliminated, man. Big up, Billy. Appreciate the dono. Mr. Hussein says, has Haaland ever played well against a decent centre-back? Yeah, he's played well against a decent centre-back, bro. Like, he defo has, bro. You know what I mean? Like, he just has. But the conversation about Haaland at the moment is valid. And I know some people don't want to have it, but we've got to have it because last night he was poor. He has scored a goal in his last 2 Premier League games. I know one of them was a penalty, but yeah, let's hopefully this weekend, if he might not even play this weekend, as Tone said, he has to come off, didn't he, last night? So
yeah,
he might not even play against. Yeah, and De Bruyne and Akanji apparently as well. So we might not even have a team to put out. Big up to Massum says, we miss Gundogan's late runs into the box. No one's making front post runs. Bizarre that our coaches aren't fixing that. Haaland's always at the back post. He's too predictable. And we need a new set piece coach. You know what? That's actually a good point. You know, like I've mentioned the near post thing all season. Yeah, I've said like we have no one making near post runs apart from Sergio Gomez when he plays. It is a bit interesting, isn't it? Like how Haaland constantly stands at the back post. Like I do feel like last year his movement was better. I do feel that's the only thing I would say. Although we're not creating as many chances, I do feel last year's movement was better. Now that might be cap. I might just be reading too much into it. But I do feel like last year he was moving a bit more in the penalty area. This year he seems to be very much far post all the time. So maybe he could switch it up and make a near post run or get a little bit more central. I don't know, but I do think that's a fair point from Masson there. Dare to Golter says, is it time to bin playing 4 centre-backs with 2 inverting? Seemed like Madrid was okay with Akanji and Gvardiol having touches in the final third. I'm going to come back to that in a second because I'm going to ask about style change in a minute. Rustin says, Haaland strides when the service is part of his stride. We can't be cross-chest City. Also, tactically, Pep needs a minor style change that absorbs some pressure to open up the game for him. Our passing, so you want space in behind the opposition attack. So you want to become a little bit more end to end, not full basketball game, but we've pinned teams in. I mean, again, it's a fair point. And again, Rustin is also suggesting potentially a style change there as well. So we are going to come on to that in just a second. Quite a lot of people are asking that. Dare to Go asked for it. Rustin asked for it as well with a super chat. Tinsei says, I'm just fed up with the same issues and us sugarcoating it. KDB, Haaland, Walker, Grealish have failed us at the end of the day this season. KDB, I don't think he has. Haaland, he's going for a rough part now, but before his injury, he was slamming it. Walker's had a bad season. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I think this is his worst season he's had at Manchester City. And last night, he was at fault for the goal, in my opinion.
Yeah, wasn't good.
Big time.
I think Grealish, since he's come back from this latest injury, has been good, albeit it's only been like 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
I thought he was good last night. I thought he was one of our best players before he got subbed off. But yeah, that's what I'd say on that, Tinsei. I kind of agree with you, but kind of don't at the same time. And then Massam says transfer rumours are coming out after a loss. Well, this does happen. This does happen. The propaganda, the PR. Right, let me ask you a question, because Dare to Go to super chatted about it. So did Rustin. A couple of other people in the chat have done it as well. Lads, let me come to Bailey on this first. Do we envisage then, how much of a style change do you think that we're in for next season? Because we've signed Doku, Savio's on the way in, and of course we don't know if Savio's going to stay at City next season. He might be loaned out, but I have a feeling that he actually might stay in. We're having a link with Paqueta, pending the gambling charges being cleared. We're now being linked heavily with Musiala. João Neves is apparently a massive option. And there are constant rumours of going to traditional fullbacks, left backs and right backs who can bomb down the wing rather than this. Who was it who super chatted about the 4 centre backs? It was Dare to Go. Bailey, do you think that we are in for quite a big change next year in tactics, or you think it's going to be minor?
I wouldn't necessarily say tactics, but I think definitely getting the right profile of players in the right position. So I did a post about Akanji last night, and you think if there's a better profile player in the positions that Akanji gets in midfield in the final third, they're a lot more dangerous. So if we take that to Walker at right back, like you said, about a fullback coming in, it's not necessarily the whole system's going to change. But if you have a fullback coming in, it's a lot more threatening down that side, then that changes the outlook. Same thing with the winger, like you were saying about Doku being on the right-hand side, having somebody that provides more threat on the cross, having a midfielder that can, like Paqueta, string together 1-2s and provide through balls and balls over the top. It's more that. It's more about getting the right midfielder in, the right profile of players this summer, rather than seeing a wholesale change.
Yeah. So you were nodding at one point. You agree?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think it's not as much as changing the style. I think it's more that adding something to it, like a different option, so we can still do this control, suffocating teams, but then have the possibility, if need be, to have these pacey wingers to go a bit more end to end and have a little bit more of the Sané, Sterling, Aguero kind of play, which in the Centurion season was amazing to view, and I think maybe would say that was probably the best season of football we ever played in as a spectator. How thrilling was to watch. So I think it's more about adding different tools to the team so we can play different ways than just suffocating teams. So yeah, don't know if it's a tactical change, more like a.
We also so Mad Hatter says in the chat, he's completely right, or she's completely, I don't know, woman or man in it, but like we need to add G&A, man, to this team, because if you actually looked at the front three last night, Grealish don't score goals, and I need to ask you a question about Grealish in a minute. Bernardo Silva don't score goals. really. You know what I mean? He struggles to get over 10, really. That's his. And Haaland is out of form and out of confidence. So our front three yesterday, yeah, we don't really have too many there. You lost Mahrez, you lost Gundogan. We don't have G&A. So for me, this summer,
But
I think we've got to get players who can add numbers to our line. You know what I mean?
yeah, but Foden will make more GNA than Gundo did from midfield. So if we can make
Yeah, but we don't know
Kevin
what's
and
going on with Foden. But
no, I understand it, but if
tired
we
of this Foden thing, because 1 minute he's on the
yeah
wing, next minute he's in the middle. It's like this is another
yeah
thing that we need to sort out. By the way, yeah,
true
we've got to stop this moving him around. At some point,
yeah
we have to just say this is your position. That's it. We can't
yeah
continue to move him. One match he's in the middle, scoring a hat trick against Brentford. Next he's on the left. Next he's on the right. That's just another thing that we need to sort out. Like we just need to play him in a proper position. We need to add G&A to this team, which Paqueta will do. Yeah, he'll get G&A. I don't know how many he'll get. It'll be interesting, but he will get G&A. We need to add goals to this team.
Yeah, I don't know how much GNA Paqueta will get. He's not even doing that much in that West Ham team. I'll buy that, but
It's
I
difficult
think like
for Paqueta, bro, because he's at West Ham, innit?
yeah, that's true. But if I think if Stones has played last night, I think we would have seen Foden and Kevin in the midfield, and having those two in the midfield, that's probably the most GNA for two players in midfield in the entire Europe. Like it would be right, and Mahrez is definitely the GNA player we miss. He was clutch, like doing it on his own. That X factor, which is what I think we need. X factor on the wing. So Doku has it for 2/3 of the game, but then his end product is still lagging. But I do think he will improve massively on it, especially next season.
That game against Madrid was, in my opinion, very impressive from him.
Which one?
From Doku last night.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
Those 20 minutes, shooting through the fullback, pinning him,
yeah,
running at him, putting the balls across the box. Like he had about 4 or 5 different options, and that was just in that 20 minutes. So, result aside, I think that's quite a positive development from him across the season.
He's looking better and better also against Luton.
Yeah, he is.
So like he's stepping up, and it's still his first season. He's 21. I mean, next season, I'm really looking forward to seeing him play because I think he will be amazing. So it's also about, I don't know, we don't like these words, but progress, right? So I think lots of the issues we have this season will be fixed automatically going into next season with the players just evolving. Like Foden's still young as well, so yeah.
Yeah, there are question marks, aren't there? The personnel is the big thing this summer because you've got De Bruyne, who has a year left. Is he staying or going? Bernardo, he's surely going. If he's going to go, it's going to be this summer. So that's 2 possible ones. I don't think De Bruyne will go, but it's possible, right? So there are others in there as well that have question marks over them. Look, Nunes has shown flashes. Yes, the Pep first season thing, but he's got to start playing and delivering a little bit more now. You know, this
It's not
squad.
going to happen with Nunes, bro. So I will not change my mind on Nunes. That guy was a panic buy. He will not play in the starting 11 for Pep on a regular basis. I will just do not see it. And just before anyone starts moaning in the chat, I like Nunes. Before anyone says, I like him. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I think he's a very good footballer. I actually really, 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 really like him. I've always said that. I just don't think he suits the way that we play at all. Now, maybe if we do change style, maybe he will fit in. But we don't. He's not going to fit in this team the way we play. He's not got the composure on the ball to play in this Pep midfield. That's just my opinion. You could disagree with it, but that's just my view.
Yeah, I don't know about not having composure. I just think he can be a little bit careless with the ball. But I think I'm interested to see what they do with him. I can't imagine he'll be sold and let go. But then there's interest in Kovacic as well from the Saudi clubs. 2 of them, I think, are after him, apparently. So, yeah, it's a personnel thing more than a tactical thing. I just think we need a little bit more of a freshen up, few in, few out. But I love Bernardo, and before I get hammered in the chat, but he's had a poor season, or maybe poor's too harsh, but he last night to me summed up his sort of season, really. He's just been off it this season, sorry. And in attacking, he's never been that great in an attacking. He's a hard worker, neat, tidy. Pep loves him, solid in the middle, passing it around, keeping it neat, keep the ball. But his attacking crosses, as one of you guys hinted at earlier. So, look, I love Bernardo, absolutely adore the guy, but I think this summer is probably a good time for him to move on, to be honest, for both parties, as long as he is replaced. There's Paquetá, there's Musiala, there's all these other guys that are being linked, and there'll no doubt be another 30, 40 more of them. Eze, Olasey, they've come up again today as well. So, yeah, I think it's a personnel thing, like the guys say, just little things, really. I don't think a massive tactical thing. And the problem with the tactical thing and people saying, we need to play more expansive and all this is you're relying on the opposition also playing that way. You can set up and say, hold back, lose a bit of possession, but they're not going to come out. They're not stupid. They're not just going to go, okay, we'll go and attack City then, because the way they'll sit there and say, we'll take a draw, lads. That's my view.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question on Jack Grealish. I was on a show today as Tone was watching me on the show. This could be an interesting one. Get your takes on this. My personal opinion is I thought Jack Grealish was good yesterday. I thought he was one of our better players until he got subbed off. I thought it was quite a strange sub at the time. In the end, it was obviously proved to be good because Doku was really good when he come on and the goal came from him down that left-hand side. But what do you guys make of Grealish, man? I believe that what he brings to the team isn't necessarily it's difficult to describe. And I know that sounds like fake, but I believe is a benefit to the team. Now I can't sit here and tell you everything that he does good for this team because I just can't. But my opinion is when he plays, I think we play better with him in the team. Now, I fully accept he doesn't score enough. I fully accept that he don't assist enough. But I just don't think he's ever done that, even at Villa. People say, look what he did at Villa. He never did that at Villa as well. Does anyone here think that actually Grealish gets a little bit too much protection? Because I can see a couple of people in the chat, say for one, who just don't buy this whole thing. I think maybe Asan, who does the 9320 podcast, I think he's not I'm not quoting him here, but I think he's another one who doesn't see or doesn't believe what I say is true, that we're better with him in the team. Am I waffling, or do you think he is good for the team? Like, what do you guys think?
Definitely. Like Jackie G is my boy, like one of my favorite players, and it's as you say, he makes the team like 20% better when he plays, and it's like with work. Like you have your star players, your best performers, but then you have this one guy that might not be the best performance, selling the most, but he just makes everyone's happy and perform better, and that's so more important. So if you take that guy out of the team, everyone's performance will drop, and if everyone's performance drops, then we will perform like we win less. So definitely he can do better when it comes to GNA, but he's a pivotal player for us. I think we've seen that throughout the season. Also, when he's come back now, we've been playing better, scoring a lot more goals. Last night was like, people like, it's Real Madrid. People is like, it's still an unbelievable team, the best and maybe the biggest club in the world, and we still dominated them. Like, we dominated them. 36 shots to 8, like 18 corners, 1 corner, 67% ball possession. Like, we were just unlucky and didn't take our chances. Jackie G is my boy, and we definitely need him. We should like make him play as much as possible.
Yeah, I agree.
Bailey, do you have the same opinion, or do you think that we're covering for him?
No, I'm not going to go straight into anything negative, but I'm a big fan. Do like him in the team. I think he's really beneficial defensively for his fullback. But he's at his best when he's combining with players. I think the Old Trafford game away was a really good performance with Bernardo Silva on that side. And I think if we look back at this season and last season, what Grealish could really benefit more from is having a fullback that would provide him either an underlap or an overlap.
Oh my God. Thank God you said that, bro. I've been saying this since he joined the football club. If he had like a prime Alexander Kolarov, bombing down the wing, and he can just do the Samir Nasri. Because the thing is, right, Samir Nasri did the same thing. Like, he had a bit more quality, and he drive in field a little bit more. But like Sabine Azri used to play left wing, yeah. And he used to have I remember the goal that we scored against United where he just held the ball, Kolarov on the overlap, little play to him, Kolarov whips it in. But of course we don't have that. We don't have a fullback. You know what I mean? Although we were just linked with Ait Nori, weren't we, last week?
Yeah, I think when Doku's isolated against his fullback with space, that's exactly where you want him to be, and you'd have confidence in him. But with Grealish, the more options you add, the more dangerous he gets. And I think when it comes to getting into the box, if you have a player like we saw Gundogan last season, we've seen Bernardo do it at times, that just gets more out of Grealish. And I think if you go back to the game yesterday, I'm kind of surprised we didn't see more of De Bruyne working on the left-hand side with Grealish earlier on in the game. It was all down the right side, so then Grealish was by himself. And that ball was always on for Rodri or Akanji to hit over. But then once it did head over that way, we never really kind of made the most out of it. But yeah, going back to your point, I don't think I would be too negative about Grealish. I'd only be excited about what he can do next season once he gets more minutes in his legs again.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Grealish linked up with Bernardo Silva quite a few times, and Bernardo's crossing yesterday on that left-hand side when he was playing in the middle was poor. You know what I mean? Far post, near post. Grealish did play him in a couple of times, but it's actually a good point because it's quite funny actually because against Luton, was it Luton or was it Palace? One of the two. No, Palace. Sorry. Grealish played on that left-hand side with Kevin De Bruyne, and it was incredible. It was fantastic. Played really, really well. So it is a little bit strange, isn't it, that maybe Bernardo should have played on the right of the midfield if we start in Bernardo in the midfield and play Kevin on the left.
Yeah. One thing I would say on Jack is that sometimes he just needs to shoot. Don't think about it, just shoot. Like, he is so aware that he needs more DNA that he takes one touch or 1 second too much lining up the shot instead of just take the shot. Like, he gets in so good position so often and then waits because you have to line up the shot so much. Just take the shot, believe in yourself, and I think that's down to confidence. So if he could just trust himself, take the shot. But let's see what happened. We played against in Madrid, we scored 3 goals outside the box, crazy long shots, right? And then we played them at home. We didn't shoot one time outside of the box. We had to roll the ball into the net, which was something I thought was quite weird because if we start shooting outside the box, they will start coming up out quicker, which will leave space to play the ball into. So yeah, I think we can prove on that.
Yeah, people do like to debate it. Big up to Eddie again. What a name. Says we needed a refreshments. We needed transfer refreshments last year after last year's treble. Unfortunately, we didn't address the losses and needs the team had. It cost us this Champions League wise. Yeah, I mean, we spoke about this to death, haven't we? You know, I mean, we know that the transfer window last year was at L. Partly, our own doing, you know what I mean? But also we got a bit unlucky, you know what I mean, with some of the stuff that happened with the midfield. Jude Bellingham turning us down, Rice going to Arsenal, Maddison had already signed for Spurs. Then we go and get Paqueta, who then has a gambling charge. So, what was disappointing was the way that we handled the Gundogan contract, which was shocking, and the fact that we let Mahrez go for 25 million quid. That's the disappointment thing. You know, I can't really blame the club too much for the midfield situation because I just felt like we had to go for Bellingham. You know, you had to go in for Bellingham, and by the time you got to your second or third choice, they'd all agreed to go somewhere else. We would have got a fantastic player in Paqueta, and that would have been a brilliant plan B, plan C. But then you just get stung with a gambling charge. So it is what it is. It was disappointing. What I would say is, let's judge them on this season because let's judge them on this summer because this summer we all agree that they need to have a big summer. The rumors coming out is that they are going to have a big summer. They're going to spend, going to get some serious quality, spend some money, and I think that this squad needs a little bit of refreshment, just as you do, Eddie. So I'm going to judge. I do think they do hold some blame clearly because letting Mahrez go was ridiculous for the price, and letting Gundogan go with the contract situation was poor. But I'm going to judge him. If they mess up this year, like for example, if they don't sign a Rodri cover. Yeah, they're getting it. You know what I mean? If they don't refresh this squad, they'll get it. But last year, I don't know, poor. But I can't cook them too.
But they tried last summer. They trying to get Bellingham, Rice, especially Bellingham and Rice is very difficult. Trying to get Bellingham, the most sought after player that summer, is incredibly difficult, right? And they put all the eggs in the basket. Then he went to Madrid. We tried to get Rice, but the deal was already done with Arsenal. And then Paqueta, which would have been a fantastic player. And then we, unfortunately, the bidding charges. If we had gotten any one of these three, we walk everything this season. Like having one of those three players in our team, we probably win the treble again. And I'm not even being cocky. I'm pretty sure of that. Seeing how we have been playing this season, how close we actually are to a triple. I know we're out now, but it was close.
Brendan says, "Did Pep wine and dine the wrong player to stay?" We should have done that to Mahrez, man. LMC says, "Still have bums like Calvin Phillips and Cancelo on the payroll." Yeah, it's going to be difficult to get rid of Calvin Phillips and
Leeds.
Yeah, I don't think either of them will go permanent. I've said to you before, why would they pay? Why would anyone pay for them?
I agree. I've said this as well. I think we'll just be loaning them out till the end of the contract now.
Yeah,
did you see Cancelo's tackle? The penalty that he gave away.
Yeah.
Bro, he's. I'm not being funny. I never really speak about former City players about this, but I'm so glad he's not my football club anymore. Like he cost us so many goals, in the in big games, and that penalty that he gave away was absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, but he's always been prone to. Sorry, mate. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, let's go on. Carry on. It's fine.
I was just going to say with Cancelo, I've seen, 20 million, 25 million. Barcelona aren't paying. Firstly, they've got no money, or if they have, it's very limited. They're not spending most of their transfer kit on Cancelo. They'll go to City. What will happen is Cancelo say, I'm only going to Barcelona, so you'll have to accept their offer, or I'm not going anywhere. And that's what will happen. Then Barca will come back in and say, we'll have him on another loan. Good, done. He's out the door. Same with Phillips. He'll be out loan.
Yeah, what's Cancelo's contracted in? How do you find out the contract on transfer?
27.
27.
Yeah, he's got 3 years, and he signed it. Remember, he signed about 3 months, was it, before?
Yeah, 6 months before, yeah.
Because he squared up to Pep, and there was some other kick off with Rico Lewis, and then literally the next day he was going to buy him. So he will not be playing for City in a competitive game again. Absolutely not a chance.
No way. Factual information. Big up to Tinsay says, "I want my midfield control, not my forwards." Okay, yeah. So he wants the Gundawans in there, and he wants, I guess, Doku's and the Savios. I guess that's what he's saying. LB says, "Open the war chest." Also, it's Jude Bellingham. By the way, his PR is mad. He was actually pretty useless across the 2 games, and all I'm waiting.
Imagine, Matt.
It's insane, bro.
Unbelievable.
I give him one thing. I thought his hold-up play was quite good. Yeah, I give him that. I thought his hold-up play yesterday was quite good.
Last night was good. But the first game, crap.
But it's crazy, man. It honestly is. They're going on about him it's a madness. So Vasco says, "We need Wirtz right. For fuck's sake, my son." I tell you what, Wirtz for me is like the heir to Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, he is the next guy. But the thing is, bro, we ain't getting him. He don't want to leave Germany, man. Every rumor that comes out is he don't want to leave Germany. He wants to go Bayern. I've said for some time, I think we will get Musiala. I think Musiala is a serious option for this football club. I do. But we'll see.
If Musiala joins over 100 mil, Bayern will go and throw that straight at Wirtz. I know I don't want to leave this year, da 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 da. But if Bayern go, let's, for example, say 130 million, we get Musiala, they're going to throw that at Leverkusen to see them turn that down.
Good point.
Even if it's a buy, we'll loan you for a year and we'll have him next summer. That wouldn't surprise me either if Bayern do that, if they get money for Musiala.
Yeah.
If you want somebody to work more in transitions with Haaland, then Musiala would definitely do that.
Yeah.
But would you take, Bailey, you're very good with the text stuff and this. Would you take
between the two of them?
Who would you take? Yeah, for our team, yeah.
I would prefer Wirtz just because I think you're losing the passing ability when De Bruyne goes, but I think if we need somebody this summer, then it might be something that kind of forces our hand, really.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at. That's exactly the same position I'm at. I would prefer Wirtz, obviously, but there's 2 things. One, I don't think Wirtz is going to come to City. I don't think he's going to come to England. I think he wants to stay in Germany. And 2, I think we need someone now. I think we need like some creative now. Like we can't wait. Now people will say,
But do we?
Could we? Yeah, bro, we do. We do.
Yeah, but do we? If we have both Kevin and Foden next season, we add Paqueta, we add Savio. Do we really need another one for next season? Like, couldn't we wait one season for Wirtz?
I think nah.
You really think so? I think we would have
the-
enough.
I don't know.
The thing I always harp on about, and some people get annoyed with me when I say this, and it is a boring thing to say, but people have to go before they come in, right? You know, the match squad of 20, I'm always going on about it, and I know someone's going to go, oh, fuck, not this again. But literally, when you do the squad of 20 on a match day, and I know there are injuries, you've got people like Sergio Gomez who are not in that 20. So for like I say, if you want Paquetá and Musiala and all these people naming 4 or 5 players, 3, 4 at least have got to go. And you're talking Bernardo's, maybe a De Bruyne, people like that. It's great to talk about incomings, but there has to be people go as well.
I think Diaz is a good example of that. If you look back at that transfer, they went through several different targets trying to ship Otamendi off the whole time. I think was it Jules Koundé that we could have got, but Otamendi wouldn't go to Sevilla. And if you look at him now, Barcelona could have been quite a good transfer at the time, but they obviously had to move somebody on before that could go. Definitely when it comes to the like international players, isn't it? For the spots versus the homegrown players. I'm not sure. Would Musiala count as homegrown? I'm not sure. I've heard people say either way.
Yeah, because he come from the Southampton Academy and then went to Chelsea, so I think so.
A few people have said he would. So yeah, I think.
Yeah, it says here. I've just googled it. Musiala comes with the added advantage of being homegrown, having spent his formative years at the Chelsea Academy.
That's extra 15.
But then someone else on Blue Moon Forum said he doesn't qualify. So fuck knows.
Either way, he'd be a top player whether he is or not. But we likely wouldn't get a clear run at him. Yeah, Chelsea are shite and they're not going to be in Europe and so on. But they've been linked with him. And the way they spend money, they truly don't give a toss.
There's no way.
You know what I mean?
They
There's
can't
no way
spend
we can
money
lose
again,
out
bro.
to Chelsea to bro. If you go to Chelsea,
There's no way they can spend money this summer.
I'm only basing that on the fact they clearly don't give a toss about rules, regs, and obscene 8-year contracts with a promise of X amount. I'm just throwing it out there that they probably will throw the name in. Whether they'd get him or not, I don't know. But yeah, and again, United are shite as well. But they've got this new chap, haven't they, Radcliffe, and he's going to want to go and get some big bloody name to put his name to. So probably throwing for him. I think we'd get.
What do you all think of the 2 guys at Palace? I know I've seen those links go around. And he sounds a bit of Asian chap, but I think Eze was a little bit more concrete, wasn't it, last season?
Yeah, Jack Gorn, very good with City and so on. He said that we're definitely interested in Eze, and if he says it, City have said it. He's clearly tuned in through the club, so they definitely like Eze. That is 100%.
Yeah, but I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, where would he? Is he going? Eze? Where's Eze going to play in that midfield too? Is he going to be in the midfield too?
Honestly, I don't know. I think he's quite. Bloody hell, my brain's gone.
Attacking 8, right? He plays as
I would rather have had him than Nunes, to be honest.
Oh, definitely. I
just don't see
that. He would be more like what Paqueta would be for us, innit? Where it's either on the wing or playing quite high as an 8.
No.
Is what I'd imagine.
And more GNA, definitely. Like he's very skillful. Yeah. I remember we did like it's interesting, both Eze and Nunes, and back then I was hoping, give me Eze. So
yeah. Eze is quality, but yeah, the interest is there. Whether they make it formal, I don't know, but they certainly like him.
Yeah, man, got some news here coming through. Barcelona. This is weird, man. You listen to our stream or something. You know what I mean? Who is this? DBR8. You know what I mean? Get your own fucking news, man. They're robbing the news off the channel. Says Barcelona are working to sign João Cancelo on loan from Citeh for 1 more year plus a mandatory option to buy. But I thought they weren't allowed that. That's what I thought the La Liga moved that.
That doesn't make sense. How's it a mandatory option? Surely those 2 words don't. Are they saying?
No, you're right.
That doesn't make
No, you're
that
right.
doesn't make
Mandatory
sense.
option doesn't make sense, does it?
No, you're right. It's either mandatory or it's not. That's waffle words. But yeah, he's going back and he's going on loan. Everyone knows it. He's going out on loan because no one's stupid enough to pay. Same with Phillips and others.
Yeah, unless the Saudis come in and give us like decent cash, it is what it is. Right, lads. Anyone else want to say anything before we wrap up? Because I've got a watch along to do. I'm going to do some João Neves. Any of you guys want to watch it? João Neves watch? Oh, you can't be asked. You are footballed out.
I'm in morning. I need a break from football until Saturday.
Yeah, I'm going to go and watch something with Marie and the girls. We're going to go watch some Hell's Kitchen, I think, or something.
You're going to get on it, Brayley?
I'm kind of stuck because I think the Milan Roma one does look pretty fun as well, doesn't it?
Well, I was going to watch that one, and I thought that could be slightly boring just because it's like typical Italian football can be boring sometimes. And I really want to watch João Neves. I've never watched him. I've never watched him once, so I'm going to watch him. But,
I'll tell you what, lads. I'm going to give you something here, right? Liverpool going to go through. You watch.
Yeah, I have a feeling of that as well.
No chance, bro.
You watch.
I have a feeling. Yeah,
no,
that would be typical them. Typical them.
This isn't the Liverpool of years ago, bro. This is they're done, man. They're done.
Right. I want a pint on this, LB. When we go
I was about to say that. Yeah. He owes me a pint as well.
What are you saying? What is this? I don't know what you fucking said.
You owe him a pint as well.
What did you want? I don't know what's going on here. Everyone's just getting disconnected from the stream. I don't know.
I'm keeping my mouth shut. I'm not. I don't want to get kicked off in the bad books.
Right. Listen, lads. I don't know where Bailey's gone. Bailey's disconnected. Big up. I'm going to go watch João Neves. Yeah, I'm going to do the João Neves watch. More LB will be live right now. Big up to Tone for coming on. As always, thanks for coming on, pal. Big up to Sai. Hopefully you recover from this very sad times that you're in right now. This guy, man. And big up to Bailey as well, who left the stream. I don't know where he's gone. But big up for you coming on. Big up to Manjinder as well, getting a super chat. He says, we will win it next year. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah, we will. Bloody right. Hey, I tell you, LB, sorry, I know you're wrapping up. Real quick, we're going to win the Premier League this year. Right, I'm telling you, we are going to bloody well do it. And we're in for the FA Cup as well. Domestic double. We've already won 2 trophies. We could finish the season with 4 trophies. And we're going to, lads. Come on. I'm on fire again now.
That is crazy.
Sorry.
That is crazy. Right, nice one, lads. Big up to everyone. João Neves watch. More LB. Get yourself over there. Redirect. Let's have it, man. Come on. Big up.